All right, this next song is actually the challenge song of this book, and I think you're going to really enjoy learning this one. You probably know it already, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And so I'm going to walk you through this one just like with the other ones. Just recognize this is a challenge song, so it's going to take you more work. You need to be patient with yourself and give yourself a little bit of time. The first thing would be to learn the right hand melody. And what I want to do here right now is I want to walk you through the fingering that I'm going to suggest for this, because remember, we have three principles for fingering. One, that you do what feels best to your hand. Secondly, don't do awkward things. And third, plan ahead, which is the most important thing. And that's the principles I'm following you in giving you this fingering. So we're going to start on our thumb on the first note, and it stretches all the way up to this note for the second one. And what I'm going to suggest to you is that when you get to ball game, that you're going to take your fifth finger, put it there to get yourself down to that next note. Put your fifth finger on that G. Then the next note phrase, lift up your hand and play your third finger on that next note. Lift up your hand here to your second finger. And right here, this is on the fourth line. When you get to that word back, I want you to put your thumb there and then go over with your third finger onto this E note. So it's going to be, excuse me, over with your third finger. That gets you where you need to be. Then lift up your finger, put your second finger in that note. Then when you get to that note, this is on the second to last line, put your thumb under on that F note. That'll get you up to the next note. And then get your third finger, put your thumb on that G so you can go over with your second finger on that F sharp, because you don't want to do put your thumb on a black key. So it's going to be second finger on the F sharp, and that gets you where you need to be. So most of those fingerings are simply, I talk about them at places where you need to lift your hand to put it in a different position to get yourself enough fingers to finish out the phrase. So that's the melody. Excuse me. Lift your finger up. Nice melody. So learn that in your right hand. Take as much time as you need to. Then you're going to work on the chords, and most of the chords in this song you have learned already and used in other songs already. So there are only three new ones that you need to learn. And so I'm going to go through those with you. The first is a C7 chord, and again there are dot diagrams for these in the back of your book. The C7 has a C note on the bottom, an E, a G, and then B flat. Now you can play it like that, or if you want to take this note here and put it up here, that's okay too. That's actually called inverting a chord. We're going to be talking about a lot more about that in the future. So this is the C7, this is C7 in another form if you want. Either one of those is fine. So learn that chord. The next is the D7 chord, and you're going to have your fifth finger on that D. F sharp is this one right here, then A and a C on the top. Hit all of those at the same time. That's the D7 chord. And then the other one that you haven't had yet is the F sharp diminished chord. You'll see this on the second to the last line. And you may be wondering what in the world that is. This is a different kind of a chord. I will tell you right now, you do not have to play that chord. If you just want to play an F chord in that measure, you can. But this one is going to add a lot of flavor to it, so I encourage you to learn it. A diminished chord is simply a minor chord that takes that top note and then lowers it one also. So that's F sharp, and it adds this note. So F sharp diminished is F sharp, A, C, and then this either D sharp or E flat note, however you want to look at it. That's the F sharp diminished chord. So learn all of those chords as well as the other ones in the book. And then what I would suggest to you is to walk through the changes with your hand with just one chord per measure, and you might hum or sing the song to yourself to just get yourself used to this very, very slowly. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Now you may have noticed some of those chords I actually did in an inverted form, and you're free to do that. Inverting a chord simply means that rather than playing the notes with the root note on the bottom, you play them at the same time but in a different order. And we'll talk more about that later. Here's what it sounds like with one chord per measure. Notice there are a couple of measures where you have a curved line connecting two notes. It's called a tie. And again, if we've talked about this before, remember that that simply means that you hold the second note down. But you'll notice that I did play the chord in that measure because you need a chord on the first beat of each measure there. Let me play it for you one more time. I'm going to show you another way to play this song, and it's a little bit more advanced and it's going to take some work, and that would be to, rather than playing the chords solidly on the first beat of the measure, I want you to play the bottom note of the chord on the downbeat of the measure, the first beat, and then the second two notes of the chord, or whatever. In some cases there's several more notes to the chord. It might be two notes, it might be three notes at that point, but with the C chord it'd be this, like this kind of pattern. I think you've probably heard this song played like that. So first of all, just play that and sing it. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Oh, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at this is what it sounds like with both hands together.